Welcome back to House TV Live. I'm Rick Spence, and this time we're with Desiree Burns with Desiree Burns Interiors out of Boston, Mass. And she's invited us to check out her beautiful Newport, Rhode Island beach home. We're going to look at primarily the living room, dining area, and maybe we'll get a little peek outside. So thanks for joining us, Desiree. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
So this home was actually pretty nice to begin with. It wasn't like a teardown or anything. Primarily, what did you want to change about this home to make it your own?
You know, the bones were great, but I wanted to modernize it a little bit, glam it up and make it personal and really make it a space that we can grow into.
Well, let's start with the living area where you have that beautiful green couch, which serves as sort of the anchor of the space. Walk me through what you did here and your style choices and your materials and all the good stuff.
Yeah, so that sofa was actually the first piece that I found in the entire house. So that served as the foundation for everything else. I fell in love with the texture. It's a green and it's a really, really pretty sort of emerald green velvet. So that brought kind of the glam, modern element that I wanted to add to the house. And then I balanced it out with some earthy elements like tree trunk side tables, a cement coffee table, tons of texture in the throw pillows, really sort of balancing out the space and making it feel beachy without, kind of being in your face.
When you're looking at a vacation home, you're thinking about, okay, it's a getaway for us, but also when we have guests. So how did you balance, having enough seating without too much?
So I thought about how many guests we typically have over when we host, and I sort of started there. I added an additional 2-seater sofa for another couple for like lounging on during movie nights or just kind of having a cocktail and chatting during the day. And then I added an extra seat. There's also a really fun blue poof in front of the gray sofa, and it kind of serves as like a footrest for the sofa, or it can be an additional seat. So it's multifunctional.
And you have a nice variety of material too. You have your sofa that anchors the space, and then you have your wood end tables, and then you have sort of the giant leaf, kind of a shout out to Canada there. Looks like a big maple leaf.
It does.
But tell me about how you sort of balanced your materials in the space as well and what you were going for.
So I think that was a good combination of with some earthy. And then I wanted to incorporate some brass elements throughout the house as well. And I'm just a big fan of brass. So it was important for me to incorporate that. And then I sort of mixed colors within the area rug and the throw pillows that were sort of unexpected pops throughout the house.
What about durability of materials? When you're doing a beach house, you're coming and going, and I'm assuming there's some sand, there's some, activity.
My guests take their shoes off before they enter, so no sand in the house. We do have a dog, but I have a velvet sofa, so we make it work. She's not allowed on the furniture. It's easy to clean, to be honest. A lot of people, I think, are afraid of velvet, but it's a performance velvet, so it just wipes right off. It's a combination of function and finding the same elements of like that glam aesthetic. And combining the two to make it work.
You kind of created a little moment with the fireplace.
So that's we use that all year round. I thought what better place to put like a cocktail nook than by the fireplace. The chairs are rattan chairs, indoor-outdoor chairs, and I just thought they were really cozy and super cute. They're actually more comfortable than they look. So yeah, they're great for, pulling up a seat by the fireplace and having a cocktail at night.
Yeah, and if you need comfort, you can always go jump on the velvet sofa. I don't think you don't have any comfort issues in that place. Love that. That's super cool. Tell me about the paint in that space.
Yeah, I wanted a paint color that would feel warm and cozy and inviting, but not be overwhelming, because I knew that I wanted to add wallpaper to certain walls around the house, and it's an open living concept. So I wanted to keep the color light and airy. So it's called Wickham Gray by Benjamin Moore, and it's a really nice, bright, airy gray. It's a nice neutral. It has somewhat of a blue undertone in certain lighting, depending on what time of day it is. But for the most part, it reads really like just a light neutral color, and that's what I was going for.
Tell me more about your concrete table.
I was looking for outdoor furniture, and that popped up. It's actually supposed to be used outdoors, but I just thought it was a great piece for the space. It kind of filled in the gap. I thought I'll go a little outside of the box and bring the outdoors in. And we went with an outdoor coffee table, and I think it works great.
So continuing your theme of bringing the outside in, let's go to the dining room. And let's start with your fantastic wallpaper and tell me about your choice there.
Yeah, so to me, that kind of feels like an indoor forest. So on the outside of the house, there's a ton of greenery. We have great trees surrounding the property. And I felt like that sort of pulled in that element. And it also has sort of a gold sheen to it on the branches. That added a little bit of a glam, earthy balance to me. And then the color of the background of the wallpaper actually blended in perfectly with the gray that we used throughout the rest of the space. So it worked out really well.
All right, let's talk about the table and chairs. This looks nice. Looks like you got a sizable space there to have company over.
Yeah, it's great. It's expandable. So when we're hosting dinner parties, we can seat more guests there if we want. I added a fun kind of shag throw over the two head chairs just to make them a little bit different and incorporate some texture. It adds an interesting element to the space.
Yeah, it's great. And even with your artwork, you even went with sort of greenery and the artwork in the space too. So you went all in on nature in this space.
I went all in. I figured, why not? Yeah, I think it's cool how it sort of feels like the artwork is coming out from the wallpaper. I like to keep my guests on their toes.
Did you refinish the wood in the space, the floors in the space?
We did. So they were existing. They were already here. But before we moved in, we had them sanded and refinished. We brightened it up a little bit and gave it some sheen, which was nice.
How nice to have that as your existing floors too, because it's really,
so lucky.
Yeah, you really brought it back to life. It looks great there. So again, your main focus was the dining, living room, and then also outside. So of course, outdoor living is really important. Tell me what you did outside here.
There was a built-in bookshelf on what's currently the wall where our French doors are that leads to the outdoor space. So we took that bookshelf down, installed these beautiful French doors, and there was nothing in the back. So we completely built the deck from scratch. We worked around this really cool tree. It was a big question for us because we were kind of thinking, okay, well, what if we build the deck around this tree and then something happens to the tree, it gets sick in the future. But it was a risk worth taking. And I think it's a focal point of the deck. So I'm happy we stuck with it.
So what did you do for outdoor seating there?
So I think my favorite piece on the deck would be the daybed. It's a great spot for lounging on the weekends. We have a really cool sectional as well. Probably in that order, my third favorite piece would be the hanging pendant above the dining table. It just brings a really cool lighting element at night, and it makes it kind of cozy and inviting. Recently, this summer, I added another little fun project to my task list, and we hung Bistro Lights over the deck. And they're dimmable, so they're just super pretty and functional at night. I took the inspiration from one of my favorite hotels in Miami that everything's just kind of lit. And I think it makes it feel really cozy and special. So that's been a fun project.
Really great work, Desiree. Congratulations on this. And I can't wait to see more of your projects and continued success for you in Boston and Rhode Island and wherever else your clients are coming from these days.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll be in touch.
Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.